We wanted a model where there would be a central point of contact where people wouldn't have to call from place to place to place in order to get service.
So we create collaborations and we create centralized processes and a centralized intake system, a formalized, consistently used assessment tool.
By having that single point of entry and really keeping ourselves on a quick time clock to get service to the individuals when they needed it, we really were able to get people back into housing very, very quickly.
So it went beyond housing and keeping people stably housed. They took a holistic approach.
You know, how can we stabilize some of those other factors in your life so that you have stability in your housing and then you can move forward and be successful and not really end up in this situation again?
Larney, a single mother, lost her job and couldn't make ends meet.
I'm the type of person that's usually helping people, and I'm not the type.
Hello and welcome to another edition of your Human Service News and Information. I am Hassan Rashid and I'll be with you for approximately 25 minutes. So it's always excellent being here with you, and it's awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here weekly at CCTV. So with that, I would like to say happy Thanksgiving to all you out there that participate in this celebration. Today is the day known as Thanksgiving Eve. So tomorrow is the day. That's the 27th of November. I'm Hassan Rashid, and this is your Human Service News and Information. And so I greet you with the ancient cordial of goodwill and justice, and that is peace. Okay. The National Day of Mourning, now this 45th year, takes place annually on Thanksgiving. The event honors the death of Native Americans at the hands of early settlers and colonists, as well as shines a light on modern issues facing Native Americans today. This year gathering will take place at Coles Hill in Plymouth, and that's tomorrow, November 27th. So while families across the country indulge on their Thanksgiving Day feast, hundreds will gather at Coles Hill in Plymouth on Thursday to commemorate a different tradition, the National Day of Mourning. The event held annually on Thanksgiving is meant to honor Native Americans' ancestors who died due to the European invasion and to explore the bloody history behind the November holiday. Now, in its 45th year, the National Day of Mourning organizers hope to shine a light on modern issues facing Native Americans today, as well as to bring more awareness to the real horrific story behind Thanksgiving. I think there seems to be this myth in this country propagated about Thanksgiving. Oh, you know, the Pilgrims and the Indians all sit down to have a meal together, and they were good friends, and everybody lived happily ever after, says Matawin Monroe, a co-leader of the United American Indians in New England, which organized the annual event. It's really important for us to stand up and talk about what the reality was and to teach others about the reality. American Indians and their supporters marched around Coles Hill in Plymouth during the 35th National Day of Mourning on November 25th, 2004, after they gathered by the statue of Massasoit on the hill to speak about the conditions faced by people throughout America. So that's where it's going to be at. It's going to be at Coles Hill in Plymouth on November 27th. That's the National Day of Mourning. Okay, so if it's not, if the weather permits, it'll be a nice day down there in Plymouth. So, and I'd like to remind you that this is also National Native American Month, November, and coming up soon will be the National Day of AIDS Day. That's coming up December 1st, and also shortly after that will be International Human Rights Day. So stay tuned to CCTV, and we'll have more information available about those upcoming holidays. And don't forget now, if you get a chance, get on down to Coles Hill in Plymouth, Massachusetts, to celebrate the National Day of Mourning, okay, with the Native Americans, okay. Another thing, I got some news about Cambridge Winter Farmers Market. That's coming up. And all of you who enjoy fresh produce, well, you don't have to fret because the spring and summer farmers market closed just Monday right here at Central Square. It was the last day. But from January through April 2005, the Cambridge Winter Farmers Market will come into existence. That's the Cambridge Winter Farmers Market. So if you like more information, check out the website. It's CambridgeWintersFarmersMarket.com. And of course, you'll be hearing more about that here at the CCTV. Okay. And another thing I'd like to, since we're talking about local things, the City Council, the City of Cambridge is participating in the participatory budget process, okay? Participatory budgeting in Cambridge. And that's about residents making real decisions about real money. Participatory budget is a democratic process to which community members directly decide how to spend part of a public budget. Cambridge pilot PB project will, for the first time, directly involve residents in the budgeting and city building process, foster civic engagement and community spirit, and help ensure that the city's capital plan reflects the priorities of the Cambridge residents. Since its inception in 1989, over 1,500 city budgets around the world have undertaken participatory budgeting initiatives, including Boston, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, Vallejo, California. How much money is Cambridge setting aside for what can it be used? The city is setting a $500,000, that's right, you heard me right, $500,000, that's $500,000 in capital funds for the 2014 to 2015 PB process. These funds will be used for one-time capital projects. How will Cambridge PB process work? The city is partnered with the Participatory Budget Process, PBP, a nonprofit organization to organize Cambridge pilot PB process. Learn more about PBP at www.cambridgema.gov/yourbudget. Okay, so you can participate in brainstorming ideas, develop proposals, vote, fund, and implement projects. So all these different options or opportunities available for just the average common citizen and resident in Cambridge. So the City of Cambridge Participatory Budget will be holding meetings, regional meetings throughout Cambridge. Your money, you decide. Help decide how to spend $500,000 for capital projects to improve your community. Join an upcoming neighborhood assembly to brainstorm ideas. So I'm going to give you a list of the locations that these brainstorming sessions will be held at. That's Gately Youth Center, Snack Room, 2nd floor, 70 Ringe Avenue. Wednesday, December 10th, 2014, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cambridge Main Library Community Room, 449 Broadway. Sunday, December 14th, 2014, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Frisoli Youth Center, Computer Room and Floor, 61 Willow Street. Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, 6:15, 8:15. Citywide Senior Center, Ballroom, ground floor, 806 Massachusetts Avenue, Saturday, December 6, 2014, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And also at the Cambridge Water Department Cafeteria, ground floor, 250 Fresh Pond Parkway, Monday, December 8, 2014, from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Or submit an idea online. If you have an idea about a project that's suitable for this participatory budget process, you can submit your ideas online. That's www.cambridgema.gov/yourbudget. Okay, so you can email pb@cambridgema.gov. Learn more about the participatory budget at www.cambridgema.gov/yourbudget, or you can make a telephone call. That's 617-349-4270. So that's you can join a movement to reinvent democracy through participatory budgeting. Participate. That means you, anyone out in the community, or any citizen or resident of Cambridge can participate in this budgeting process. So join the conversation, join the PB mailing list, and follow PB on Twitter and Facebook. Talk it up. Tell your elected officials, schools, universities, public agencies, community groups to try PB. Help the movement grow. Participatory budgeting and .org. Participate. That's the people like you are deciding how to spend money in over 1,500 cities around the world through participatory budgeting. PB, you can propose ideas to improve your community, turn these ideas into real projects, and vote to decide which projects get funding. PB gives you a real power over real money. So it's all about you to come out and participate in the participatory budgeting process. And I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that in the weeks and the months to come here at CCTV. Okay, opening video was a video depicting some housing, public housing issues, affordable housing issues, as they relate to homeless people. You know, it's a holiday season. A lot of folks are thankful for what they have, but there's a segment of a society that don't have. And tonight, they don't have housing. Everybody has a human right to have housing. Okay, to have housing, but the homeless, they're out there and they don't have housing, and that video was shed some light on that situation. Okay, so we're going to try to get back to that video, but I just like you to keep in mind when you say your prayers at Thanksgiving tomorrow, you keep in mind the homeless people. Those people are not as fortunate as you are. Okay, materially fortunate as you are. Okay, the Patrick administration decided to comment on the home care and environmental reductions, but the governor can impose the cuts on his own. The fate of his $58 million legislative package is far less clear. If the $25.5 million in local and AIDS cuts is dead on arrival, his call for $22 million in reduction to state agencies beyond his control, such as Attorney Generals and Secretary of State offices and the state lottery, will face at least some opposition. Treasurer Steve Grossman said he is willing to take a proposal 1.5% cut to his own office, but he objects to about $1.4 million in proposed reductions to the Lottery Commission, which he chairs. With staff levels already low, he said the commission cannot let go of workers. Instead, Grossman said it would have to stop printing certain scratch tickets, potentially leading to millions in revenue losses. Lottery agencies help to fund the local aid. Lawmakers are committed to defending the governor budget office. Did not comment on the proposed lottery cuts, but officials pledged broadly to work with the lawmakers on any adjustment to its legislative package. Balancing the state budget is a collective process. Glenn Shore, the state secretary of administration and finance, said in a statement yesterday, "We put forward the Patrick administration solution to closing over our budget gap. We look forward to seeing what the legislature proposes and to work together to ensure fiscal stability for the Commonwealth." Okay. Also, last week, I think it was last week, in order to balance the state budget, Governor Patrick proposed more than $300 million in cuts. These include $190 million in mid-year 9C cuts, such as $2.4 million in cuts to elderly supported programs and $55 million for mental health services for children and adolescents. Adolescent cuts, not 9Cs, include $25.5 million to local, and according to the global local lawmakers aren't happy. Mass budget has a great explanation of 9C cuts. If time permits, we're going to get into a definition of what 9C cuts are. Top lawmakers make it clear Thursday that they will not back Governor Patrick's proposed $25 million mid-year cut in aid to cities and towns. Explicit opposition from House Speaker Robert A. DeLeo and implied resistance from Senate President Theresa Murray snuffed out any hopes the administrations may have had that the state legislature would approve the reduction as part of a larger effort to close a $329 million budget shortfall. Okay, what is the governor's authority? 9C authority. What is the governor's 9C authority? Okay, The 9C, Chapter 29 of Massachusetts General Laws requires that when projected revenue is less than projected spending, the governor must act to ensure that the budget is brought into balance. The section reads as follows. Section 29, Section 9C, Division C of Revenue. Section 9C, whenever in the opposite opinion of the Commission of Administration, available revenues as determined by him from time to time during any fiscal year under Section 5B will be insufficient to meet all of the expenditures authorized to be made from any funds, whether by appropriation or distribution, he shall within 5 days notify in writing the governor and the House and Senate Committee on Ways and Means of the amounts of such probable deficiency of revenue, and the governor shall, within 15 days after such notification, reduce allotment under Section 9B and submit in writing a report stating that reason for and effect of such reduction, or submit to the general court specific proposals to raise additional revenue by a total amount equal to such deficiency as an alternative to the submission of such proposals to raise additional revenue and to extend funds that are available. The governor may recommend an appropriation equal to such deficiency for the Commonwealth stabilization funds. Okay, so that's basically what 9C is, his authority to make these cuts, okay? And hopefully he's not cutting human service programs. It's especially like the salary reserved for human service workers. But as soon as I get information on that, I'll share it with you. Okay, a two-generation approach to poverty. If policymakers want to reduce poverty, they'll have to shake up a fragmented system that sometimes works against itself. That's the thrust of a recent report by the Annie A. Casey Foundation, which is calling for a two-generation approach to helping low-income families. Almost half the nation's families live in poverty, according to the report. One solution, author argues, is to support programs that address the needs of parents, children simultaneously. In particular, governments could do a lot more to maximize anti-poverty programs already in place. Part of the problem, said Senator Dorn, a senior fellow at the Urban Institute, is that government usually require people to visit different offices in different locations to get help paying for food, housing, childcare, and other living expenses. Often it's the same kind of information that you're providing to all these different places. Dorn said that's an awful lot to ask of people, and it's a little silly, but that's just a basic feature in our public benefit world. Given that fragmentation, it's no surprise that in some states, more than a quarter of non-elderly adults who qualify for food stamps and public health insurance for their children only participate in one of the two programs, according to a recent study by the Urban Institute. Okay, a little bit more here, but I won't go into it because we're starting to wind down to our last few moments of history, community life, and diversity. Excuse me, your human service news and information for this Thanksgiving Eve day. Okay, got one more thing. I was checking for pre-Kwanzaa celebration. I know it's an annual celebration that they have at the citywide senior center, and that's the they had the last one that was in 2012, so that's 40. The one's coming up now, it's the 41st annual celebration, but I don't have the information on whether it's going to be held or where it's going to be held next month. But as soon as I get that information, you look forward to that. That's pre-Kwanzaa celebration, okay? In collaboration with the Art of Black Dance and Music, the Alma Battle, and Carol Hill. So I don't know if they're going to do that this year, but if they do, I'll inform you. So, but really, if you'd like some further insight, you can call 617-666-1859 and ask them that if they're going to put on the pre-Kwanzaa celebration and where they're going to do it. Okay, I'm Hassan Rashid, and that's about it for me. So I always remind you that you should keep your nose clean, play it straight, and don't forget to assist someone in need of your help. And don't forget to remember those who don't have the fortune that you have experienced the whole year. That's the homeless folks. Don't forget, if you see Spirit Change people out there, Spirit Change News, you can always contribute to helping the homeless by purchasing a Spirit Change newspaper. Unfortunately, I don't have the latest issue to show you with the cover, the cover story, but maybe next time we'll have it. So once again, I'm Hassan Rashid, and I leave you with the ancient greeting of goodwill, peace, and justice, and that is peace. Okay, until next time.
That I would, want my hand out for help, and it was pretty much I had to lay pride down and do what I need to do to help my family. They not only helped me with finding a place to live, my family and I, but I came in pretty much off the street with nothing.
HPRP enabled us to provide a greater amount of financial assistance per household if needed, and a longer period of case management. And then when we looked to our rapid rehousing partner, at 6 months after receiving assistance, over 95% of the families they rehoused were still in stable housing. The main reasons are, one, we had enough money and we could offer enough resources per family to truly fill the financial gap that they were experiencing.
And we didn't let our hand go. We also continue to provide supportive services, checking up on her every month, saying, hey, how's everything going? Is there anything else we can assist you with? And so it wasn't just the initial helping her, but we helped her throughout the process. Just keep on pushing forward, and we have your back.
What was ultimately successful for us is we created a learning community of everybody that was working in the program.
We had weekly case management meetings where all of our staff would get together and talk about what the challenges were with a family, or what resource one organization may have over another to help this family get through.
We were able to argue out, to discuss, to come up with a joint decision as to what the best approach was with each case, which really made everybody feel involved and part of the process.
So that it was not a static process. It changed, but every change was